I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Every time I come on here, I'm like sideways. And it's because I get to see how my haircut looks. I'm sideways because I'm looking over here to see my to see if my my Facebook is on and then I'm live. So I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks like there's light coming in from my window, and there's like a little bit of shadows today. I guess it must be the time of day. So hopefully this will get better and the lighting isn't too horrific for you. Let me make sure this is on. Oops. And I can see any comments. And I can see any comments. All right, so I can see your comments. I'm all set to go here. All right, so today, whoever is here, presence yourself in the comments, say hello, so I know that you're on here and I can see you in the comments. Yes, live chat, so I can see whoever shows up. Awesome. All right, so I want to talk about Drop the Drama. By the way, I have my coffee this morning in my friend's cup. I hope you all are friends. Are you friends? Friends. My tribe here this morning. So I want to talk about dropping the drama of divorce, dropping the drama, period, right? But in particular, dropping the drama of divorce. So it is super easy to get embroiled in drama, super easy. So I'm going to give you a real-time example. It's super easy, right? So I'm coming on here, I'm talking about the light. I just came from a run. I'm getting dressed. After this, I'm going to brunch with my daughter. So there's a lot. Your life stacks on each other. You're getting a divorce. You are going to be a single mom. You now are the primary breadwinner. You might have to move, or you've already moved. You're taking care of the kids. And maybe you were doing some of this before the marriage even ended, but now it's really like it's all on you. Or maybe for you, it's breakup, but you're moving out, right? You might have had kids together, same rules apply, right? Or owned property together, had a house together, same rules apply, although you're not legally dissolving your union, you're physically, mentally, and emotionally dissolving your union. Same thing applies if you're going through a career transition. You're not going to be working at that job anymore. You're going to start a new job, or maybe for some of you, there's been a lot of reductions in force. People are getting laid off, losing their job. So then there's this unknown. You don't even know what you're moving to. Maybe you got a severance. Maybe you didn't get a severance. So then there's this big question about how you're going to take care of yourself. For some of us, you're starting a brand new life, another city, another state. Whatever your transition is, there's a whole bunch of drama in it because there's trauma in it. Wherever there's trauma, there's drama, right? However it worked out, if it didn't work out in the way that you envisioned it, or you thought it should go, or it was harsh, it's because there was trauma there. Something happened and you were traumatized. You had a reaction. You were triggered by it. There was upset involved. And I'm not just talking about, there are times when in your life, you're like, I totally saw that coming. I get it. There's not a lot of drama. There is the emotional pain or upset around it. You're sad, you're hurt, you might even be angry, but you weren't blindsided. You weren't, necessarily abused. You weren't taken advantage of. It's the best decision. You're conscious of that. And your unconscious are sort of married up on, you don't feel like you were blindsided. So there's not a whole lot of trauma, like your sense of security or faith or love or whatever wasn't ripped from you, right? So that it's not traumatic. It's just, it might be dramatic, right? Like it's a lot to process, it's a lot to handle, but it wasn't any trauma associated with it. When you have things where there's trauma associated with you, you get so triggerable about everything because it's traumatic. And most of the time, our trauma is sitting in the unconscious, like we're not aware of it. We're not aware of how hurt that this situation reminds us of something that happened when we were kids or in our adolescence, that this situation ties very much to our processing of the world in general, right? So in particular, we're talking about divorce. When you lose your spouse, it's also triggering potential abandonment issues by your parents. So it feels even more, you feel even more left alone. And you start telling dramatic stories. Everybody leaves me. Everybody doesn't leave you, but in your mind, my parents left me, my husband left me, and you're down that rabbit hole, right? Same thing. If the person was abusive, everybody abuses me. People take advantage of me. The story you're telling, and you'll know by the story you're telling, is it'll be everybody does it. People always do. Like, you'll make emphatic statements, and that's not dramatic. That's your trauma talking. Your trauma talking. So that's how you're triggerable. You're sitting there and somebody, you're like, no, I can't take another person leaving me, or something like that. Like you just click, hair trigger. Somebody says something to you and you're like, all right, wait a minute. You go right. And people are like, God, what a drama queen. Like, for them, it's occurring as drama. For you, you are in your trauma in that moment. It's not even about the moment. It's about something else that happened in the past that you haven't gotten completion or reconciliation on. And so in this moment, it's like, you ever have those, you see those movies where your life flashes before your eyes? In traumatic moments, it's like your subconscious goes, like, from all of the times where that thing happened to you. And in this moment, there's an explosion. You are absolutely triggered. And often we don't know why, because it's so embedded from things that have happened historically. You just are like sitting there going, oh my God, like, I can't believe this. And you'll hear it. This is happening again. People always, all that type of thing. So here's the deal. If you have trauma, right, associated with your divorce, it's likely not really associated with your divorce. Your divorce might have been a trigger, but it's old stuff, right? Now, there are people that had a great childhood and then married somebody abusive. It might be from that. My point is not that where it comes from. My point is not where it's coming from. My point is that it's there. It's there. And this is where you need to get support for this. Like, so I'm not here to tell you today, there's no quick fix. Let me just put that up front to ending the drama. What I'm going to say is simple. What I'm going to say is easy. It is not a quick fix. You're not going to go and automatically no more drama, right? It doesn't work like that. Now, for some things it might. Some things you can go to a couple counseling sessions and it clears up and you get reconciled because they're easy. Other things are more challenging to reconcile than that. So if you have trauma that is leading to drama in your life, and you'll know because you're triggered, right? Something sets you off. What I mean by triggered is it sets you off. Either you immediately go into some negative form of emotion, anger, upset, sadness, depression, anxiety. Somebody says something, does something, and you are right there in the soup of it. You might not even know you're doing it, right? The best of us know we're doing it. We can see it, we can feel it. And the idea is you want to be in that place to catch it so you can make a different choice. But the rest of us, right, who don't know, don't catch it. You just fly off the handle at a boss, your kid, your ex, and you just have to deal with the consequences, right? That's trauma. That's I'm triggered. And then you create this dramatic situation. That reaction causes a chain reaction, causes another reaction, causes another reaction. And the next thing you know, before you know it, the whole place is burning down around you. And you're like, what did I say? What did I do? I don't think this is fair. I'm not going to take it anymore, whatever it is, right? When you're in that place, this is where you need to start doing your work. This is the work you need to do. You need to get underneath. What is that reaction about? Where does it come from? And trust me, it might be that the person was the jackass sitting in front of you, but you deal with jackasses all the time and you do not have that strong of a reaction. If you are reacting strongly to a person, it's because underneath that, there's something to be handled, something to be dealt with. And what you want to do is get underneath that powerful reaction and go, what the hell is going on here? Because I have had many people do this, that, and I don't have that reaction. But the next thing I know, when I have this reaction, now I'm in fight or flight mode and I'm about ready to choke this guy out or this person out. That's not where you want to go with this. When you see that happening, what you need to do is make sure that you are dealing with that. Right? If you've got an ex or anybody in your life that you have a hairpin trigger with, there's some work to be done underneath that. And you got to do your work. Like I said, no quick fixes. You got to do your work. Right? Now, That's trauma. You get a coach, you get a counselor, you get a support group, right? You read a book, you do some journaling, you go walking, you meditate. I'm not telling you how to do your work. I'm just saying there's work to be done. And you got to dive a little deeper, figure out what that nugget is that's triggering you, and then resolve it. Because it's not about that person. You will always be triggered by that thing, because that thing is in you, it's not in that person. It will come up over and over again, not just in your ex, but if you see it in your kids, if you see it in your boss, if you see it in a clerk at the grocery store and it's a trigger for you, you will be triggered unless you get underneath of whatever that is and get reconciled and complete with it, whatever that is. And for some trauma triggers, the best we can hope, because they're so deep and embedded and happen at a young age, for some people, they just get good at really identifying it, taking a breath and just moving on, or asking for a pause. They can put pause on it, right? You may still always feel it, but you're not in the drama of the trigger by flying off the handle and basically vomiting on people, your stuff, right? That's trauma. Trauma you need support for, trauma you need to do work on. That's different. What I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to make that distinction because I know some people have deep traumatic issues and I don't want to step over that. Some people have stuff that's really, really, this 30-minute conversation is not going to get at it. You need support. Like there's real stuff there that when it happens to you, it's very real in the moment and you need to like deal with that. And I don't want to step over that because that's really harsh and try to make it seem like, all right, I'll watch this 30-minute video and I'm great now. That's not what I'm saying. Drama, on the other hand, is completely different. Drama usually is a choice. Now, if you're being triggered and then you react, you create drama. But for most of us, drama is a choice. We are choosing to be our reaction and not our response, right? You get to respond to whatever's going on in your life. You don't have to be a reaction. You get to choose that. And most of the time, our hairpin, some of our stuff that sets us off is stuff that we just need to like take responsibility for and not dump on other people, right? If you're late and you're leaning on the horn because of some old lady driver, it's because you're late. It's not because of some old lady driver. Had you left 10 minutes early, you wouldn't care about the old lady driver. In fact, you wouldn't even notice her. If somebody cuts you off, so what? You cut people off too. I have never met a driver who's never cut people off in their entire driving history. Everybody does it. Not because they're malicious or mean, because you're late that day, you cut somebody off, you need to make things, you're not thinking about it. They give you the horn and you're like, sorry, you keep on driving, right? So give the other person who cut you off grace. They're having that moment. There's so many times where we bring the drama and we don't need to. Rushing is one, and I'm guilty of that. Rushing is one. Being unprepared, that's another one. So then you're upset that somebody else isn't unprepared because you were hoping that they would have it to compensate for the choice that you didn't make to be prepared. When you get mad at like your ex for not showing up on time. If your ex is notorious for not showing up on time, then don't have him show up. You drop the kids off. Like, be in choice about it. You're empowered. You can choose drama or you can be unavailable for it. So like one of the things, and pick up and drop off is like a really great example. One of the things that I used to do is when I knew I had real deadlines, planes, trains, automobiles, work, presentation, clients, whatever it was, I picked my kid up because I didn't want to risk doing it. People say, well, it's his responsibility and his time. Yeah, but you're the one that has the impending meeting deadline. They don't. So if they're 5 minutes late, they aren't present to what you got. But I told them I needed to this. Look, whose responsibility is it to get to that meeting on time? It's yours. It's yours. So you got two choices. You can rely on them if they're notoriously late. You're already causing your own drama. Like, we are the cause of our own suffering. The first arrow is they're always late. That's on them. But if you don't, when you have important meetings, don't make arrangements so that they're not late on your watch for things that are important to you, that's on you, right? So if it was important to me, I was like, I'll pick her up. Done. Because I'm going to pick her up on time. We're going to get there, get settled. I'm going to do my meeting, be prepared, and it's going to be easy peasy. If I rely on him and they're notoriously late, then what's going to happen is they're going to be late. I'm going to be pissed. Then I'm going to be rushing. Now I'm in drama. Now I'm dumping. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. It spills over to my kid. It's very, very frustrating. You don't need any of that in your life. Same thing applies to work. If you got a boss or a coworker or somebody that you're relying on and they change their mind, or they're notoriously late, or they don't show up, or they're never prepared, hey, the project has your name on it, forget about what's not fair and everything. You know, people, bosses, leaders notice who's doing what. I cannot tell you that. And if they don't, then again, you've got a choice to make. You don't have to stay at that job. But if you're going to stay at a job where you feel like you're unrecognized, unappreciated, people are walking over you, your boss doesn't know who's doing all the work, that's a choice. You can leave that job, right? Or you can reframe it and say, like, I'm going to do my job regardless, and either I'll get recognized or I won't, but my name is on it, and anything with my name on it goes out in excellence. And I don't care what other people do. I'm not interested. They can be late, unprepared, but my stuff is immaculate. It is in excellence. You can be responsible for your actions such that you are drama free. You're unavailable for it. So when people are late, listen, be here at 7. If you're not here, I'm out. No drama. Oh, wait, I forgot something. Well, what can I do to work around so that it's not a difference? Oh, that's right. I keep something in my purse so that I'm good. Like a couple times, there's many times as you become a person of a certain level of experience, you forget things. But I like common things like, or hairbrush, or I'll forget a particular lipstick. A couple times I've gone, God knows this is a terrible thing to say, I've forgotten to put on my deodorant. I'm not ever worried about that. Why? I keep it in my purse. I keep it in my briefcase. I keep it in my car. So if I forget anything, wipes, sanitizer, lip gloss, any grooming thing, there's a version of it with me wherever I go. So I'm always prepared. I'm not concerned that I've forgotten something, things like that. And I just get forgetful as I've gotten older. You got so much on your mind, you get forgetful. So I duplicate everything. You need a portfolio, keep one in your car. Keep a little folder in your car of all your business things. So you have duplicate things of your file, put it in your trunk. If you never use it, great. But if you need it, it's there. To be unavailable for drama is to be prepared for things that may or may not happen, but mostly for the things that you've already committed to happening. When you make a commitment to something happening, and that is a no matter what. So you bring whatever it is you need to bring to make sure it happens. You're early, right? You're not on time, you're early. You've communicated, twice communicated, right? You've made arrangements for backup plans. You are, when people say stuff and they trigger you, you breathe, you know who you are, you breathe, you pause, you ask for space, or you ask for grace. I'm going to take 5 and let me get back to you on that. Or you say, listen, give me grace. I forgot, I messed up, right? You ask for what you need in the moment, but you don't go down the rabbit hole of, look, let me tell you something about, there's no need for all of that drama, because as soon as you start shaking your head and pointing your fingers and wagging your thing, putting your hands on your hips and all that, whoever you are, or giving people to, excuse me, look, and all that, they get defensive. Now you're in drama. Now you're going to have something. Now there's going to be this back and forth. And when you get there, you're already in the moment. When you're unavailable for that stuff, when you are unavailable for that stuff, not only do you not bring it, but people don't bring it to you because they know you're not going to get embroiled with them. So you ever been with those people who are angry all the time, and no matter where they go, they get into a fight, and they get into a fight, even people pick fights with them because their vibe is anger. And when their vibe is anger, they're pulling in the anger, they're pulling in the drama to them, if that's your vibe. If drama is your vibe, you're going to pull it into you. You're going to be it, and then you're going to attract it. So the thing that you want to do, the way to be unavailable for drama, unavailable, like if you really want a clean context, 2 things. Deal with your trauma, whatever it is. If you notice a trigger, there's something underneath of it. Get to the root of it and deal with it. Don't step over it. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend it's somebody else's fault. You're the person having the reaction. So you're the owner of the circumstance of the reaction. This took a long time for me to get, I'll say this, and this will be my last point. And I think when I was in getting counseling one time, I said, and I'm like, why am I the one always working on stuff? these people, whoever, I think I was getting counseling for my marriage counselor. And I'm like, he's the one that's always doing this. And he's the one that's always doing this. He was like, yeah, but you're the one with the issue. You're sitting in counseling. You're upset. You're anxious. You're frustrated. That's why you're getting counseling. They're not upset. So these people aren't upset by their reaction or what you did or their response, or they might be, but who knows and who cares? It's not even your business. You are. You're frustrated. You're upset. You're anxious. You're depressed. The reaction you're having, you're the owner of it. So the responsibility to deal with it is on you. Again, simple, easy, right? Simple, maybe not easy, right? You got to do your work. You got to do your work. So the first thing, deal with your trauma. If you've got a bunch of things that trigger you, that set you off, there's something underneath of it, get underneath of it, deal with it. Coaching, counseling, group therapy, meditation, walking, exercising, journaling, whatever you need to do to get at it, but get at it, discover what it is, unpack it, repack it, put it away, donate it, get rid of it. It's gone, right? You need to get rid of it. That's the bottom line. If you are in drama mode, like this is not like you notice triggers, but these are controllable triggers. So-and-so said something that pissed you off. Well, that's different. They pissed you off. You know what the deal is. Then choose a responsible reaction. Notice, right? And choose a reaction. Ask for space, ask for grace. Tell people that you need 5 to process so you can come up with an appropriate response, or you need a week, or you need whatever you need. Let me get back to you on that. You guys know that's my favorite phrase. Or ask for grace. Own it. I was late. I didn't do it. I committed. I didn't get it done. I apologize. I'm sorry. Please give me grace on this. I will make it right. A lot of times the drama is because we don't live up to our commitments. And then we expect people to cover that. And then they're pissed at us. And then they come at us in a certain way. And then we're like, don't talk to me like that. Yeah, but you messed up. And that's how you talk to people when they mess up, right? People are reflecting back to you where you are. When you are unavailable for drama, I'm telling you, it doesn't come to you. I very rarely have altercations with anyone because I'm unavailable for drama. I know who I am. I know what triggers me. I know how to choose my reaction. I know how to ask for space. I know how to ask for grace. I know how to say, I need to think about this. Let me process this so I can respond, not react if they've hit a nerve. And I know how to say, hey, mea culpa, I messed up and I'll make it right, right? I'm unavailable for drama. I don't have a drama-free life with anybody. I don't have drama in my relationships. And when I do, I'm out because that's not how I want to live. You can be unavailable for drama, but it's a choice. It's a choice. And the choice is yours. You get to make it. All right. That's what I have to say to you. Super quick today. I am on my way to a brunch. I'm so excited with my daughter. I hope you guys have a sensational Saturday. Couple things, announcements for you guys, just so you know. One, if this was helpful for you, make sure you share it out with somebody who you think could use it, if this would support them. Not as listen, especially if they're a dramatic person, this may trigger them, right? If they've got trauma and drama, they may have a reaction to it. Just say, hey, I saw this. This was pretty good. Check it out. Don't send it like, girl, you could use this, unless you have that kind of relationship, because again, a lot of people in this, they're not, especially if they have trauma, they're not aware that they have trauma around stuff and they get triggered. You don't want them triggered. You want them contemplating. You want them to take in the content, right? So share it with them as, this was really a cool thing. I thought this was good advice. I like the space grace thing, and then move on with your life, not as an accusatory thing. Then if you think, if this supported you, drop in the comments what was really supportive of you. Like I love feedback. What really supported you? Like one nugget that you got that was like really awesome and you're going to use this and implement it in your life. I know that. Or what you want more information on so I can make sure I cover it in the next Coffee and Connections. If you've not already done so, please join my new community on NAS.io. this is where our learning center is. So there's videos up there. There are learning modules up there for free. They're all for free. You can join the community for free. There's no membership cost, but there's training materials up there that you can engage with for free for yourself. And if you like the training materials, share them out with people so that they have an opportunity to learn them. And that's all I got for you. Don't forget to sign up for the next coaching and conversations next week. We will be regular time next week, 9 a.m. And I will see you next Saturday. You guys have a great weekend. Celebrate something today. Celebrate yourself today in some way. Have a great Saturday.
Into myself. What a wonderful world.